Hey there YouTube, Doc's Motorcycle Service. Rah. Welcome to the garage. Got Linda with us today. Everybody say hey to Linda. Linda's representing. Linda's trying to save the Tatas. It's that time of the year. Make sure you support them. Gotta support the Tatas. Alright, that's all I'll do with that. Alright, so again, welcome to the garage. What we're going to do today is, if you watched the previous video on how to figure out the best proper windscreen for you on your motorcycle, and as I mentioned in that video, changing out the windscreen or the windshield, whatever you want to call it on the motorcycle, is one of the most simplest things that you can do to customize the motorcycle for you. And there's a safety aspect about it. I'll have a link right here to that previous video. You can go talk about it. We're not going to rehash that again today. We've got the motorcycle already set up in the garage, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take a windscreen, for example this Knockworks windscreen here, and swap it out on your Ultra Classic. Couple of safety points here and a couple of tech tips. This is plastic. You're putting it in between the fairing, which is plastic, and in most instances there's going to be a little rubber trim on the front side of the inner fairing and on the rear side of the outer fairing. And where these three bolt holes go, right here where you see my finger at, there's going to be a mount there that these go around. Now you do not have to take your fairing off. All you have to simply do is loosen the bolts, slide the fairing toward you, double the thickness of the windscreen, because again there's a little mount there that you'll see in just a minute that this thing has to slide off of before you can slide it straight up out of the top of the fairing. Again, plastic, metal screws. We've talked about this before. Quarter grunt, full grunt, half grunt. This is a quarter grunt job. You just want to hand tighten these things. Do not put a ratchet on these things. You will crack this just that quick. All you really need to make this happen in most instances is a star wrench or a torque wrench. We're going to be using a T27 today with a 4-inch extension and a hand grip. No ratchet. Listen to me. No ratchet. You will crack these things if you put too much pressure on them. Alright, let's go in here and take a look at it. As I mentioned before, 3 bolts. One here, here, and here. And I'll snap a picture of what this looks like down in here for you. But all you're doing is loosening these 3 bolts just enough for this outer fairing to come separate from the inner fairing, and then we're going to slide this one up and we're going to slide the other one down in. Probably take your bolt out about a 1/4 inch on each side and leave it right there. Now, depending on how long your fairing has been attached to the inner fairing, you may have to wiggle this thing a little bit to get it loose. This chrome trim, just leave it where it is. Just grab your inner fairing, round it a little bit, work it around, and then once you have it where it looks like it's loose, just grab it from the sides. You can see it's already loose. Slide it forward and then up. There we go. Might have to apply a little back pressure to it to push it forward, but with it coming up, you can already see those notches that were in there. So this one's off. Now we're going to put the other one on. So now we got it off, and you can see, Linda, come right over here. You can see right here where my finger is, this round mount. Right there you can see where the screw goes into it. That hard rubber mount that's right there and right there, and there's one over there as well, slide right in there. So when you slide this thing down, you're going to have this out far enough for that windscreen to go in front of that, and then the windscreen to lay down over it. So all you can do here is just slide this thing out, and you just want to do it on one side. Bring this over, get it started in there, work it down in, and then just sort of grab it from the back and pull it forward a little bit. See how simple that one went in? And then rock that one in, and then rock that one in. And you can use your finger to push this up here. If you have a finger on the back and a finger on the front and you're pushing them together and there's no open area here on either side, then that little hard black plastic mount is mounted in that hole that I showed you. Now, this is on you, okay? Harley Davidson shake. If you ride a Harley Davidson, it just shakes. Part of your maintenance plan, I've discussed this before on this motorcycle, is every time that you're washing your motorcycle, you need to be touching your motorcycle. And you need to be touching those things that come loose. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do a PM video here in the future on everything that I check on my motorcycle and everything that you should be checking on your motorcycle at least every other time you wash the motorcycle. Washing the motorcycle is a great opportunity to touch it and feel those things and determine whether or not they're loose or not. Me, I'm going to take some blue Loctite, just a little bit, and I'm going to put it on these threads. Blue Loctite is thread locker, and blue is designed to be loosened with hand tools. And I'm going to do this because I ride a lot, and I'm going to put just enough on it to put it in here to make sure it stays there, because I don't want to lose these things. You wouldn't believe how much Harley Davidson charges for one, and if you lose one and you don't find the exact one back, then you're going to have to buy 3. So we're going to put just a little bit of thread locker on these bolts. Make sure that you put the thread locker over the bolt, away from the motorcycle paint, so if it drips on the ground and not on the motorcycle. And then we're going to put them in. We're going to give them a quarter grunt, hand tight, and we're going to be done. Pass this over to Linda. She's just going to put just a drop on there. There you go. And then we're going to put this one back in. And here's another tech tip. Don't tighten this one down all the way. Just snug it for now. Get it started. And then come back and do the other ones. Alright, one final check to make sure it is where it should be. Ta-da! So, make sure you check out the Facebook page. It's a nice little place to leave a comment, answer a comment, post a question, what have you. There you go. I mean, how long did that take? Not long at all. But just to recap, make sure that you are not killing these things when you tighten them in. You can crack these things. God, I cannot tell you how easy they crack. But check out the other video to figure out where or how tall you need your windscreen to be, and have at it. Look on Facebook Marketplace, some of the other Facebook pages. There's a bunch of ones out there used where people bought the wrong one. It's either too tall or too short. Pick them up, and that's pretty much all I can do for you today. So I appreciate you coming by the garage. As always, subscribe, hit the like button, and as always, handle your business, save some money, ride safe. All right, and cut.